hope you could see how excited I am. My parts came in, and today I'm gonna clean up my boosted, give her an upgrade, and I'm gonna give her a name. Stay tuned. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I've never done this before. However, my wheels just really are tore up. As you see, I've been thrashing this board. I mean, really shredding. All right, I hope you're ready to have some fun. You know what I mean? I'm excited because my parts came in for my boosted Mini X. So today I'm gonna clean her up, upgrade her, and I'm even gonna give her a name. How exciting is that? I can't wait. Here she is. I've now named her Scar because of this nice little gash we got jumping over the fence at the skate park. So there's that. And if you wait to the end of this video, I'm going to show you a quick little trick on how you can avoid falling when you get caught up on your board. As you see, I've got a nice gash here from hitting the curb, and I jumped off my board just in time, and I saved myself with this trick that I use, which I'll share with you at the end of the video if you stick around. I replaced the belts already once, and I think this time I'm gonna upgrade them to the Kevlar belts, which I got off Amazon. And I'm going to compare the package I got from Boosted USA to the wheels that I purchased from Boosted when I originally bought my Boosted Mini X. So let's go into my garage here. Let's see what we have here. I have boosted wheels that I purchased from Boosted before they went out of business. So I just want to point out to everybody why I'm making such a big deal out of this. Boosted went out of business early this year, and I was worried I wasn't going to get any more parts, but they sold off their inventory to Last Mile in San Francisco, and they created a website called Boosted USA so people like me could buy the parts they need, even though the original company went out of business. So it's essentially the same thing, except you don't get customer service. You can buy parts, but you don't get the customer service that you would have gotten from the original company, Boosted. I know, it's complicated, but it's essentially the same thing, because the company went out of business. But there's another one now that sells whatever's left. I don't know. That's why it's kind of a big deal. I also have skid plate kit, a belt service kit, and another skid service plate kit. Skid plate service kit. So I purchased all of this directly from Boosted right after I bought my board, because I figured, hey, why don't I get the parts I'm gonna need just in case and have them so when I need to upgrade or change out my wheels, or if something gets damaged, I'll be able to replace it myself. So I did that, and I actually have some other parts in here that I think I put. These Kevlar belts that I got off Amazon for really cheap. Well, they weren't really cheap, but I got 3 pairs for a pretty good price. I have some extra motor caps. Allen wrench. I have some boosted truck hardware screws because I believe I lost some hardware under my boosted, so I had to like find the right screw to replace it. So I have extra ones of those. And then I have the wheels from Boosted. They actually come fully complete with the bearings in there, which is pretty cool. It's a full set, so it comes with front and rear. Okay, great. So the rear tires have bearings, the front don't. So that's something to note. When you buy wheels from Boosted, you're only gonna get the front wheels without the bearings. The rear wheels they have a bearing. Yes, they do. Yes. Hopefully that's both of them. Yes. So the rear wheels have bearings. I think I'm just gonna have to like work with what they gave me or what I purchased from them and what else I got from Boosted USA. So let's compare what you get. This just came from Boosted USA. It's packaged a little differently, but hey, who cares? So same idea. Rear wheels, just like that. And the bearing kit taped up. There it is. That's what it looks like when you get it. Wow, so I'm gonna have to figure out what all these pieces are, but there's a lot. I'm gonna try not to lose them. Okay, this is good. So I have a lot of extra parts. What I'm gonna do is replace my rear wheels from the wheels I just got from Boosted USA and keep my original Boosted wheels, my full set, in the box just the way it is, and I'm going to replace the belts with these Kevlar belts. Kevlar boosted board belts. Compatible with Boosted V2, Mini S, Mini X, the Plus, and the Stealth. And they look like, oh, they're actually cool. They got little like fibers on the end, as you can see. Hopefully that makes them stronger. All right, I'm sweating now. Hey, show must go on, right? First thing we have to do is remove the motor caps. I actually have some new ones here, but I don't mind mine being a little scratched up. I might even swap my skid plates out because they look really bad. So, one of the mods that I have on my Boosted board is a motor cover. It was 3D printed by a guy found on Reddit. If you guys want to know where to get one of these 3D printed motor covers for your Boosted, let me know. Comment below and I'll leave a link in the description on where you can get these. But yeah, it didn't cost me a lot and it definitely saves my motors. So one of the things we're gonna have to do is remove the motor caps, I believe. GoPro capture. It's so hot that the GoPro keeps turning off. Like, I'm really working hard to try to produce some really great content here, and like all the elements are battling against me, but I'm a stick with it, and I'm gonna push through, and I'm gonna get it done, and it's gonna look good.
Okay, let's speed things up a bit. To take off the motor caps, we'll need to remove the 2 screws with the Allen key that came with the motor caps. You can't just use the skate tool that came with your booster board. Be careful not to lose any of the little screws. And since I have a motor shield, I'll have to remove that first before I can remove the motor cap.
Removed the motor cap. Next thing is to remove the wheel.
Using a skate tool, loosen the nut on the rear wheel. Then just remove the nut and washer. To remove the wheel, just rotate it as you pull it firmly off the trucks.
And I found the best way to remove your wheels are just to like slide them off at the same time you pull off the belt. Making sure not to lose any of the little parts. Like for instance, this washer that comes off. There's the washer and the bolt. Keep those aside. Let's definitely not lose those. These are old belts. So the rear wheels are pretty standard. Really simple, really easy. I wonder if I should flip my skid plates. I do have 2 skid plates. I might as well replace one, shouldn't I? Our new wheels are gonna go on there, but first maybe I should clean it up a little bit. I think it's always a good idea to get rid of any dust, debris, particles that might be laying around that shouldn't be in there. Plus, I just feel like it'll give me the impression that my boosted board is like brand new. Now with a little more air. Now it looks like new. Love it. Oh, and I think I did say I was gonna replace the skid plate, right? And that's like a lot of little screws there. It's basically these 3 screws right here.
To remove the skid plate, unscrew the 3 screws that form a triangle around the trucks. And don't forget to remove the washer.
Those old skid plates, they are really bad. Here's what the new skid plates look like. Wow. I should do a side-by-side comparison of what my new wheels and the old wheels will look like, and what the old skid plates and the new skid plates are going to look like. So this is an old wheel. And this is the new wheel. You see the difference. Old skid plate, new skid plate. Now that I got this far, you can see what this side looks like. My plan is to flip her around, do the other side the same way, and then I'm gonna go through each of the components side by side as I replace them and put them back on so you guys can see the difference between each of the parts that I'll be replacing. I have the belts, the skid plates, and the rear wheels. And we're gonna do the motor caps.
I just realized how cool it would be to do a side-by-side comparison of each item as I replace it for you. So here is the old motor cap, new motor cap. Old motor cap, new motor cap. Old motor cap, new motor cap. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but old is on the left and new is on your right. These are going to be the new belts. As you can see, you got the little fiber on it. The old skid plate and the new skid plate. Motor caps, the old motor cap and the new one. The old boosted wheel and the new one. So now we're gonna flip her around and do the other side. To remove the motor caps, it's important to note you have to use the correct size Allen key that comes with the service kit. You can't just use the skate tool that came with your booster board. Now let's remove the... Using a skate tool, loosen the nut on the rear wheel. Then just remove the nut and washer. To remove the wheel, just rotate it as you pull it firmly off the trucks. Sure to save your washer. Wow, this one was really tore up. Look at that. Nice chunk was taken out of that one. See that? Man, I really be thrashing these wheels. It's because I kind of treat it more like a skateboard instead of like a longboard, and I do a lot more tricks. And I could tell you, when I was riding, I could feel this. I could feel the unevenness of this because it was cracked. So we're glad I'm replacing that. All right. Looks nice. Let's throw a little air in there. It's the other thing you should take note of. This washer should stay on the inside. And I'm gonna put it there on my old one. I'm gonna make sure I put it on the new ones before I replace them, but we're gonna wipe those down. Make sure they're nice and brand new. So last thing is the caps. To remove the skid plates, unscrew the 3 screws that form a triangle around the trucks. It should be easy to remember because the triangle has 3 sides and 3 points. All right, sorry, let's do a quick pause for a little wipe down.
Basically, this is almost like a complete refurbish. It's a good idea. Basically, in this video, we're gonna show you how you can completely refurbish your boosted Mini X. I guess that's what this is a complete refurbish job. Of course, nobody wants to do a little bit of cleaning, but I don't mind because I want my boosted board looking brand new, just like these parts that I'm going to put on there. Basically, I like it when things are like new, even if I have to like refurbish them myself and modify them with like extra cool parts that are better than the original manufactured parts. All right, I think I'm satisfied with that. I have to say, Boosted did an awesome job at the quality. I mean, if you just look at the quality of this, it's just impressive. Impressive. I'm impressed. I mean, I don't own any other electric skateboards, but I'm sure if I did, I would probably compare them to this. This probably would be the like standard I compare everything else to, because this looks really nice. Making sure my motors are clean, that there's no junk in here. And these are just antibacterial wipes. I like them because they clean pretty good and they evaporate pretty quickly. After I hit them with a little bit of air, it evaporates fairly quickly and it gives everything a brand new, fresh and clean look. I think basically this is going to help when putting on my new parts to make sure everything is running nice and smooth, which is what I like. First things first, this is going to be our new skid plates. The one thing I'm not going to need is the bearing service kit. I don't think I'm going to need that yet. I think I'm going to leave the front wheel. I think I'm going to leave the front wheels as is. We're just going to make sure the rear hardware is brand new and back to basically factory settings. We're getting a refurbished job. We're refurbishing everything so that we're like almost brand new. All right, so the next step is to replace the skid plates, and from what I understand, these are reversible, so whichever side you want to put them on, they're going to fit the same. When you buy the service kits from Boosted, they actually have the instructions in there, so don't have to go online, but yeah. It shows there's basically only the 3 screws. I thought there were more. I thought there were the 5 screws that held the trucks in place that I was gonna have to remove, but you don't. So when you buy the service kit from Boosted, they actually give you the instructions, which is great. Needed that. Thanks, Boosted. So I guess my next step is going to be to replace my skid plates. Then I'm going to add my Kevlar belts with my new wheels, followed by the new motor caps, all with new hardware, except for these 2 little rings, which you should make sure that you keep. Don't lose those. I wonder if I can buy spare ones. Do they come? Oh, you get a spare in the bearing service kit, so that's good. For now, I guess I'm gonna save these and use the old ones. Maybe we'll clean them off a little bit. All right, that's what we're gonna do next. The last thing is to put everything back on in the order we took it off. So that starts with the skid plates. I'm gonna replace this side for you guys first.
And I believe the skid plate goes this way. And it uses these little silver screws. Skid plate goes with the screws on the flat side. I did it the other way. Rookie mistake, because I've never done this before, but now I know. Nice save, JP. Now they did give me new hardware or nuts, screws with a little wrench, but I'm just going to use the old one because they're fine. And I'll save those in case I lose one of these or need to replace them in the future. I have backups. So that's one skid plate on. Let's get the other. So I was really surprised at how easy this was. Don't be afraid to try this yourself if you have a boosted board. If you can unscrew things and screw them back in and you have an Allen key, which they include with any of the service kits, then you should be able to do this just fine. There, that's done. So these washers basically go on the inside right here. And we're going to need a Kevlar belt, not the old one. So a Kevlar belt in lieu of the old boosted belt. Hopefully it'll give me some added performance. It feels a little stiffer. It's definitely a little stiffer. So what I do is I add the belt onto here and I sort of slide them on together. Just like that. We're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Just make sure these are all nice and tight. Wheels are on. Kevlar belts are on. Firm, but not too firm. Skid plates, brand new. Everything looks nice. We have the washer to replace on the wheels, followed by the nut. Same thing on the other side. I was definitely surprised at how easy this was. If you have a boosted board and you've got to do this, don't be afraid. Go ahead, get the parts. Look online. There we go. Follow the tutorial or some instructions they give you. Boosted board has a great set of YouTube tutorials on how to replace and fix everything, which is pretty much how I learned, and you can see how easy it is. All right. So how about we try a quick test? Seems to work great. Yeah. They work great. Quick trick. If you ever want to shut off your boosted board and your remote at the same time, what you can do is hold, without pulling the trigger, hold the wheel down and press the button at the same time. This turns off your remote and your boosted board at the same time. So this looks great, sounds great, works great. We're gonna put on our motor caps, and again, just like the skid plates, Boosted instructs that these are reversible. I can put them on this side and it'll fit there, and I can put it on this side and it'll fit here. So motor caps are reversible. All right. Motor caps are in there. So basically everything looks brand new. I love it. That was pretty simple. Took a while, but if you follow the steps, that's what it looks like. I'm kind of happy with it. So we changed our wheels, our belts, skid plates, and the motor caps. Well, the one thing is our front wheels are still kind of old, but I don't mind those. I got a bearing service kit, and I think I might want to basically change the bearings on these. But what I'm gonna do is order those Kagawama 85 millimeters, and when I do that, I'll put those bearings in there, because I don't think I can get those Kagawamas loaded. Or maybe I can, I don't know, we'll find out. I'll do some research and I'll see. If you got a boosted board, comment below and let me know if you have tried the 85 millimeters instead of these 80 millimeters and what they're like. I don't know if I want to sacrifice the torque. I like the torque that this board has. I don't need 1 or 2 extra miles an hour. I don't need, you know, a little bit of a softer ride. I'm okay with the bumps. I just like the torque, I like the speed, and I like my boosted. I love it. So yeah, and we're gonna name her Scar because she has this mark here on the front. I don't know if you could see that, but I always look at that when I'm riding. So we're gonna name her Scar, and we're gonna find a way to put that on here, find a way to write that on here somehow. Maybe I'll get a sticker. I'll engrave it somehow. I don't know, I'm gonna figure that out. So the last thing I'm gonna do is replace my motor cover, which is a 3D printed motor cover that I got from a guy on Reddit. I'll see if I can find his info and link it below, but shout out to him for this 3D printed motor cap that he gave me, and it works great. Basically, you put it on your motor cap like that, you just pull it back, locks into place, and it covers and it protects your motors. I think I love it. We're gonna have to go test it out. But since I don't have lights, it's dark outside now, and yeah. Sorry about that.
So the trick is, when you come off your boosted board and you feel like you might wipe out, just come off running. Like you're an Olympic champion about to cross the finish line. You know how they do when they put their arms out and they take those long strides to catch their balance while they're slowing down? Basically, that's the trick. Tune in for another episode. Definitely subscribe if you haven't, and like this video if you enjoyed it. Please do tell